everyone, it's Laquita. I wanted to come on and show you really quick another book that I finished. I actually finished this quite some time ago, but I didn't want to share it until I was ready to give the book to my friend. I made it for one of my dear friends that I have known for a long time, and her name is Laverne. Hi, Laverne. And so Laverne actually gave me a skirt that she wasn't wearing anymore, and she said, here, take it and make something with it. And so when she gave it to me, I knew I was going to make a book for her. So the skirt fabric is on the inside of the book. So the outside of the book is the colors on the outside I used all because of this one piece right here, this beaded piece right here. This was a pattern that I bought, and it is all made from beads, and it's the Delica beads, and using the peyote stitch I made that piece. Now, I was not familiar with this type of beadwork at all. I did do another project and I used a beaded piece like this on the front of another book, but I don't think I mentioned in that video that the whole reason that I was even introduced to this type of beadwork was because of Mary Barrett. Hi, Mary. And thank you so much, Mary. Mary gifted me my very first beaded piece using these little tiny beads. And Mary does such gorgeous work. I mean, she is a master at doing this type of beadwork. And so I'm not at all trying to compete with Mary. I just loved it and I wanted to try it. And so this is my stab at doing this kind of work. This type of pattern here is very basic. This is Peyote 101, but I do love it. I love the beadwork. I love the results that you get from doing this type of beading. And if you've ever received any of Mary's beadwork, consider yourself blessed. I mean, she does such gorgeous work, and the time that it took me to do this piece, I can imagine the amount of time that it takes Mary to do the pieces that she's been doing and gifting to us. So thank you so very much, Mary. She's just such a kind-hearted, giving lady, and it just takes a lot of time to create these pieces, the pieces that Mary does too. So thank you so much, Mary, for giving me the information that I needed to get this piece done. So I wouldn't have been able to get through it, I don't think, without information, tips and information from the expert. So because of this piece is the reason of the colors that are on here, because I was trying to go with the colors that are in this beaded piece. And as you can see, it's a rose, and there's a rosebud there. And so I took this with me and went to the fabric store, and I could show you better on the back, I found this gorgeous embroidered piece here, this fabric. And as you can see, the outline of the embroidered part is done in a copper metallic like thread. And so that actually matches the copper highlights that are in the rose. So it was a perfect match. It's actually done on a mesh, like a tulle type fabric, and then I overlaid that on top of the dark pink. So that's how I was able to come up with something that sort of matches what's the colors that are in that rose. And then I've just used some white laces all around. I've got some bridal appliques and a flower that came from some fabric that I had, and some handmade roses here, and then I've added some dangling beads here. And I also was able to find a bead at my local bead shop that has the copper colors in it that match the colors in that rose. So anyway, that is the outside of the book. So on the inside, this book actually has images of my friend's family. So they're personal pictures, and so I have covered them up with tissue paper. So you can still see the pages, but you just won't be able to see the pictures inside. So here, the first on the inside of the cover is her dress. This is the skirt in this gorgeous bluish green color. It's done in this it's a really soft crushed velvet fabric, and it's gorgeous color. I just love the color of it. And then I've just made a pocket here out of kind of an eggplant colored lace. And then there's also a sequined trim that goes there and also on the edge there in kind of the same eggplant color. And then a bluish trim across the top that I did some beadwork on, and then more trims at the bottom and some dangling beads across the bottom there. And then the next page, I've got the image, of course, is right here behind the tissue, and then I've just got some applique pieces there. There's a beautiful pin. It's an angel. And then I've done some beadwork all around here. And then some handmade roses, another applique there, another applique here, which is actually a part of this lace here. And then a little bit of tulle back behind that applique. And then there's a really pretty lace down here, which is covered in beads and bugle beads. And I did not do this beaded piece. It actually was a piece that I bought. So that is those two pages. Okay, the next two pages are done in a dark red, kind of a cranberry color, and gold. Look at this gold piece. Isn't that gorgeous? It just jumps off the page. It is just so bold and gold, but I just love that piece up there. And so I've got a little bit of gold across the bottom with some dangling beads, and then each of the pictures is actually under a frame. You can see the bottom of the frame, and of course you can see it's going all around, but it was the easiest way for me to add the pictures to this book because I had actually made the book first, and then I took it to my friend and showed it to her, and then I asked her for the pictures. And so I had to be able to put the book together and be able to come back later and put the pictures in it. And so doing a frame was the easiest way to hold a place to put the picture. And so then I've just embellished around with a lot of handmade flowers, and there's a little beaded applique piece there, and there's a gorgeous beaded piece along here, and then some more laces there. And then this page has, look at this piece, isn't that pretty? It has this dark red stone in the center. I put some tulle behind it, and then just embellish the page with lots of different little laces and applique flowers, and there's a little bit of gold and some more handmade flowers and dangling beads. And across the bottom there's more dangling beads and tassels. Okay, the next two pages are done in blue and black, and I've used a yoke piece here, and also part of that yoke piece is on the other page too. And then I've just made a lot of handmade flowers on here, and I've gone around the image with just different laces and trims, and there's actually a little fringe trim down here that's made out of a tulle. And then there's a black lace, and there's black beading down there. And then the next page, around that image, it's kind of hard to see because it's in black, but there's a sparkly trim that goes all around the frame. And then there's a pleated fabric here, and it's kind of, it's kind of curly. And then there's feathers I've put on here, and then there's a couple of jewelry pieces, and there's a couple of flowers here, but they're in black, so they're kind of hard to see. And then there's a gorgeous black, it's like this piece, but it's in black right here. And then there's another gorgeous piece right here that has bugle beads on it, and you can see them sparkle, but it's kind of hard to see the black. But I've added this pretty rhinestone piece at the top of it, and then I've trimmed it, I've outlined it with some rhinestone trim. And then across the bottom, there's an eyelash trim that goes all the way across, and then the pom-poms are across there. Okay, then the last two pages are done in an off-white, and so I've just used different appliques and laces that I've just either cut apart and pieced on, or I've got a lace trim that goes across there. But a lot of these I've just cut apart and just, placed them all around the page. And then I've got a lot of flowers that are handmade flowers on here. I think this is the only one that I did not make. And then there's a gorgeous bling piece here, and there's a cross hanging down there, and then there's clear beads that go across the bottom. So that is it. That's the book, and so I hope you enjoyed seeing my book that I made for my friend, and I'm going to deliver it to her this weekend. She did not want me to put it in the mail, so I'm going to see her this weekend, and so I'm going to hand deliver it. So I wanted to do the video before it's gone. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my gift, and thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.